I was going through depression. You know, I was dealing with a lot of things. Like
The therapist dealing with depression.
I was, yes, I was a therapist.
NHIS should start putting therapy into its options so that common Nigerians can have access. It's only those that are in the private companies that reach out to people like us. Yes, I'm not ruling out the fact that we had toxic behaviors amongst fathers in the past,
Right.
but they had more mental resilience. We must balance the attention. If you focus too much on the girl child, when she grows up, is it not that same boy child you marry? You don't have the efficacy to even manage a child. A child will test you. A child will bring out the part of you that you've not seen before. Well, I'm a positive and clinical psychologist, and I've been practicing for about 10 years now. I have a consulting firm that focuses on psychological services and learning and development services.
Okay.
I also have a foundation, and I have a school. It's called the Helping Tribe School of Counseling and Positive Psychology.
Wow.
This is where we train therapists in the country.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
over to you, Kimberly.
Well, I have been in the mental health field for nearly 10 years now, on both the institutional setting and private practice setting.
Okay.
Right now, I'm operating in the private practice setting. I have my own practice, The Healing Place.
Okay.
And my area of specialties, depression, anxiety, helping individuals with relationship issues and trauma.
Kimberly, I can notice the black woman therapist thing on your shirt, and going by my research, why do you have it totally concentrated towards the female gender?
I feel that Healer, the therapy journal, that is a fulfilled prophecy. I remember in the year of 2021, my pastor, he had prophesied to me, and he said, at this time, I was really going through a lot. I was going through depression. You know, I was dealing with a lot of things like...
A therapist dealing with depression.
I was a therapist dealing with depression.
And that's a strength. She's vulnerable enough to actually say it. It's a strength.
I was a therapist dealing with depression. I had gone through mental abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse. And he prophesied to me, and he told me, you are a healer. That's where the title of the book came from, Heal Her. Heal Her. He said,
healer.
Yes.
Heal her.
Yes. So he said, you are a healer. He said, you are going to be able to heal other single women by what you have gone through, not because you have just gone through it, but because you have survived it. So as I was going through that, I was writing the journal. So I wrote the journal as I was going through that. I actually released the journal like 2 years later. So not to say that I won't like ever release anything towards like a general population or towards men, but specifically Healer, the therapy journal, that was just a fulfilled prophecy.
Wow. That's amazing.
I want one.
That's a therapeutic journey.
Thank you.
It's a therapeutic journey.
Yes.
Wow.
We are having men that are coming out to say that there were this time, everywhere around the world where we always believed that the only person that has ever gotten raped was women. Right? We never looked at the direction that, something was happening to a boy, or in fact, we always come from the angle of, can they rape you that you'll be enjoying it?
Well, first I would start off saying, I think that the ratio is like 50-50. Yes, I think that it does affect the boy child equivalent as it would affect the female child. However, the male child has been taught to deal with these circumstances differently. For example, like growing up, men are told if, real men don't cry. If you cry, you're weak. If you express your emotions and say that you're sad, man up. These are things that they were taught growing up. So they're not like just freely to speak about, history of abuse, neglect, or trauma. But generally speaking, I believe that like all of these issues like sexual abuse, like it has always been a thing, but now it's more prevalent to talk about. Years ago, back in the day, therapy wasn't really just talked about. Like if you were saying, I'm going to see a psychologist or I'm going to see a therapist, they're like, therapy, like, you're like deemed as crazy. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, why do you need to speak to someone? Or you know, they didn't call it therapists years ago. It was social workers. Like, if the social worker was at your house, like, why are they at your house? Like, are they taking your kids away from you?
Exactly.
Like, what's going on? So it developed shame in families. Like, families began to feel shamed about having issues, shame and guilt. So that's pretty much like why I believe people have not reached out for like mental health services, but it has become more prevalent. As far as the males, I think that they're like you said, they are coming out more, speaking about like their history of trauma. Like a lot of males that I encounter, nearly almost all of them have experienced like a history of abuse or sexual abuse of some sort.
We must balance the attention. If you focus too much on the girl child, when she grows up, is it not that same boy child you marry?
Exactly.
So if the boy child is dysfunctional and the girl child take an average 20-year-old girl now and an average 25-year-old boy, the girl will still, she's still better off intellectually, emotionally. You see maturity.
Yes.
All those boys are just drinking and wasting out their lives. When they are supposed to be in the gym, on the field, doing productive work, being domesticated, you know, being relevant, being responsible.
So we have a lot of buzzwords for mental issues. We have narcissism, we have misogyny, we have, I don't know if I'm pronouncing them right. We have toxic masculinity, alpha males. We have toxicity, we have a lot of buzzwords, right? But then, are we saying that right now, the Gen Zs understand it better? That's why we're able to call out our current or our relationships or whoever we're dating, say, oh, this guy is a narcissist. Or is it that our parents then were able to manage it better?
I think the coping mechanism then and now varies.
What is changing?
A lot is
Technology, I would say. I think that the early millennials have like more access to technology, so it is like more normalized now.
Right.
For example, like I dealt with childhood sexual abuse. I didn't know that I was abused until I was an adult.
Exactly.
When I was an adult, I thought back and I was like, I was abused.
But
like,
you didn't know what it was.
I didn't know what to call it. But when I like became an adult, I said I was sexually abused. So I just think that like it has been normalized now. So now that they have a better understanding of how to address it.
Right. Thank you, Kimberly.
The culture and the religious factors then was potent. Okay? And there were rituals for every ethnicity or for every culture that binded. You see, it was, the Ubuntu culture was stronger before now. The culture of interconnectedness. I am because we are. That is the African group mind principle. That's why there's the nuclear, the extended family, there's the tribe. We used to have that shock absorbers. That there were controls that you would, even if your father was messing up, the wife, your mother didn't need to report him before the uncles would call him to say, we've observed this and this is the consequence for this and this and this. Yes, I'm not ruling out the fact that we had toxic behaviors amongst fathers in the past.
Right.
Okay? So, but also, they had more mental resilience. Okay? And they were more, they focused more on, I don't want to use the word, but I would say procreation. Regenerativity. So let's preserve the future.
Let's preserve the future.
You know,
I think that was the mentality.
what we have now about as they go. According to Erickson's theory of psychosocial development, there's a stage called generativity versus stagnation. Okay, that's the stage. That stage, our fathers got to those stage at the right age to entering those stages. Say between when you are 45 to say 50, 59 thereabouts. Okay, you're not thinking about yourself alone again now. You're thinking about the future generation, your offsprings. What value you want to give back to the system. But tell me, a man or an individual who hasn't even found himself at that stage, who at that age is still thinking out for himself, is still so selfish about himself. How can he cross that stage of development? And it comes from childhood. A child, as early as 2 years old, should start taking initiative. When you keep yelling at your child, you keep shutting them down, you don't give them the room for associative play, for integrative play, for solitary play when the need is. You lock them up, you don't, at every little mistakes, you label them, you are robbing them of taking initiative. When they can't take initiative, they are not confident enough in themselves. So when they are not confident enough in themselves, they cannot find themselves, make mistake, a child self would make mistake, would still lie because he's scared the parents will add more to the problem.
Exactly.
So when children start having those developmental blocks, it affects how they would grow into the future psychosocially. And so what you're meant to do in the stage of full dependence, you have not done it. You are not in the stage of independence. So you have not even done or acquired the critical learning points for independence. You are now moving to interdependence. Show you that you can't even manage yourself alone in independence. Between the ages of 9 and say 18. Is it that you that will not be able to manage a partner when you are in young adulthood?
Wow.
So if you can't now even manage a partner in young adulthood, managing relationships effectively, that's where we're talking about emotional intelligence and all of those components. Is it that you that can now parent a child? You don't have the efficacy to even manage a child. A child will test you. A child will bring out the part of you that you've not seen before. So tell me, we don't need to rush to anywhere. My child, they said, take her back. I'm not rushing to anywhere. She needs my money. Let her go back to that class and learn. And what I'm concerned about is my home is like a crèche. I ensure there's so much play around, and I ensure that, okay, if you say outside is toxic, bring your friends to come into my house. When they display the nonsense behaviors in my house, I'll try to see it. I was meant to be a drone pilot like 6-7 years ago. I should be a multi-million-dollar guy now. I didn't want to leave my child, who was just barely how many months old then, to travel away, because I understood the presence of a father in the first 5 years of a child.
Wow.
So these are some of the education we need to make the parents today understand that it's not about just money. We need to slow down. That's just the bottom line. We need to show more compassion than being judgmental. When you see somebody, whatever the person is wearing, whatever, don't come with a point of judging the person. No. Show compassion and love first. The world is so harsh out there. So harsh out there. God help us.
Wow. All right, Shitty.
Honestly, this has been a learning point for me, and I'm sure for Chief Daddy. We had so much to take from this. Absolutely. This was a section for us.
Exactly.
Right? And I'm sure it is going to be a section for all of our audience right there. This is a section for me. Absolutely. And like I said, I would be booking those sections separately. Right.
Kimberly, I would like to quickly wrap this up, because I think we are against time. How far do you want to go with therapy as far as your practice is concerned? Is it locally or internationally? The same question goes to you, Mentor Mo.
Well, right now, my private practice is expanding to like multiple states in the United States. But ideally, I would like to be an international therapist. I do understand like the barriers there may be abroad. Okay. So I am in the works of like starting a nonprofit organization so that I can go out and help other international populations.
That's a way to go.
That's beautiful.
That's a way to go.
Really commend your work, and we pray that would actually be a success the moment you kick off. Dr. Mentor Mo.
Yeah. With teletherapy, I'm on several international platforms, therapy platforms, and yes, I get clients. In fact, I would say most of my client base are Nigerians abroad. Australia, Belgium, UK, Canada, right. So I work mostly around the clock, and yes, it's important you have a global mindset if you have to really meet up with best practice and understand how to better manage,
Ladies and gentlemen, from me, the Chief Daddy of Lagos, and my co-host,
Wura Olabelu,
aka Bells. Ladies and gentlemen, till we see some other time.